If you're not here, you missing out. Is this show?
Hey guys, it's the Spice Ranger, Kayla Sparks. If I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling.
Welcome to Women on Wednesday. Woo! Welcome to 2022. We're here back on a Wednesday. We have Maddy from Top Rope Squishy joining us, and today we're going to start the year with someone who's come back to wrestling. Someone who was in wrestling a while ago, took some time off, but she's back now. You've seen her in different places. Mission Pro, Beyond Wrestling, WWR Plus. We have, as she said, the Spice Ranger, Kayla Sparks, with us here today. How are you doing, man?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
So, Kayla, the first question I always ask to start it off is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Oh my gosh, ever since I could remember, since I was 3 years old, I loved watching wrestling, and I used to watch it with my family. We'd all sit in the living room together and watch, Monday Night Raw every Monday and SmackDown, and I just always loved like the big characters and like the superhero, it was actually like an escape for me, like to watch wrestling, and like you get yourself like sucked into like the characters and the storylines and like, the athleticism and everything. So I just love it all. It has everything. Like I just always loved wrestling ever since I could remember.
Who was, like, since you can remember, who was one of your first wrestlers that you liked?
Hulk Hogan, like that was Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior when I was a kid. I feel like that was like every like 80s, 90s this kid's favorite, right? Yeah.
I feel like she's around our age, man.
I know.
I'm probably the oldest person in here.
You guys don't look that old.
Well,
you guys look young.
I'm not putting no ages out there.
I don't mind. I don't mind. 40.
Wow.
That's my age.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed. Yeah, I was gonna say like way younger than that, but yeah, you guys are great.
40. 40?
40.
Wow.
40.
Hey, it's still young. You know what I mean?
She young.
Your life, But yeah, definitely Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and then of course, like as the Attitude Era came, Undertaker was always my all-time favorite. I loved him, and Sting. I watched WCW too when I was younger, and Sting was my favorite. So
nice.
I have a lot of other favorites, but those two, yeah, definitely.
How you feel about Sting being back? You came back, Sting's back. How you feel?
Actually, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even explain like how like insane that is, that I grew up watching Sting and like idolizing him when I was younger. Like I used to dress up as him for Halloween, and like I had posters of him in like is that crazy? Yeah. Like I have pictures I can show you guys. Like I met him a couple years ago actually, and what was crazy was it was at a meet and greet, and I remember like his manager came up to me, and I thought it was a joke at first, and he's like, hey, because I wanted to stand out, and so I put on, he was the Wolfpack Sting that day, so I put on my Wolfpack Sting makeup. I tried my best, and like so his manager came up to me and he's like, hey, you're gonna be on Sting's Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, right. I was like, just joking around, right? And then I get up to Sting, and he has his phone ready, and I'm on his Instagram live, and I'm like, wow, this is just crazy. So you guys can check it out. It's me meeting Sting for and I was in his makeup, and he's like, I heard a girl, was had my face paint on and that she did it better than me. I'm like, I don't know about that. But I was totally fangirling out. And then to be in AEW and backstage with him, I like almost started crying, because I'm like, wow, this is just surreal to be backstage and go in the same ring as like my hero, my idol I grew up watching. Like, so I had to take a picture, but I'll have to share that with you guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yes, it is. My goodness.
Yeah.
Am I taking over, Trey?
You got it, Maddy.
Listen, that is amazing. Like when you have these dreams of being someone and you grow up idolizing them, and then you actually get to meet with them and essence work with them, that is, if that doesn't make it seem like I made the right choice in my life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like pursuing your dreams. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you a few questions, and
Sure.
I'm sure you've told this before, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I want to know why they call you the Spice Ranger.
Well, I came up with that. I came up with that recently. It was a mark like on my childhood, you know, like growing up in the 90s. So like Spice Girls and the Power Rangers. Those were my two favorites. So I was like, what better way to like mix it in with a gimmick and like, you know, a superhero Power Ranger, like it's Morphin Time and like girl power, you know?
You
So
know,
that's kind of where that came from, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I grew up watching
Power
Rangers and listening to the Spice Girls.
So you get it, girl.
I get it. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So,
what color would the Spice Ranger be?
Pink.
I was gonna say like 2 colors because you're spicy. Like I don't know, maybe like orange and red.
I know. Right? I know the colors.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah.
So you're an executive producer for a series that's based on your journey to becoming a pro wrestler called Against the Ropes, right?
Yeah, isn't that? I know, it's crazy. Thank you. Yeah.
My God, how did this come about? Like, what started you on this journey to start a series, which I think is amazing. It's so amazing. When I started reading about it, I was like, okay, I need to ask her many questions. So, like, how did this come about? Like, where to start?
It's crazy. Like, so my friend Shane Alden, him and I used to wrestle back in the day when we were teenagers for this promotion called World of Hurt Wrestling. So we go way back. And then this past year in January, out of the blue, I haven't been wrestling like in over 14 years. And there was a podcast. It was called The Shining Wizards. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but those guys are great too. And then they reached out to me and said, hey, we want to do a interview with you if you're interested. And I said, heck yeah. So I just haven't, you know, I was talking about wrestling and all that stuff. Like this is before the TV show or anything came about. And then my friend Shane listened to it and he's like, hey, you know what? Your story is very interesting. He's like, I've been wanting to do a TV series about wrestling, but I haven't found the right story. And so he actually owns his filming company called New Light Media Films. So he has that side thing that he does now, which is great. And so that's how that came about. He's like, would you be interested in doing a TV series based on your life, like as wrestling? And I'm like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, you know, yeah. So that's how that whole thing. And then from the beginning, we just, I worked with him and we both, we worked alongside. He was the producer as well. Chris Gaunt was the director for that. And it was so awesome. I never did anything like that before. So, and then to have it based on my life is just crazy. So like, who knows the story better, right? And then like the cast, all the actors and actresses, that was really fun. And get to like write the script and it's crazy, right? It's just it was awesome. So
but you know, you being involved makes it 100% factual. You know what I mean?
Like the only thing with this is like, I wish it was 100% factual, like a documentary, but I know there's some things like it's still my same story, but you know, like Hollywood, you have to like drama, you know what I mean?
But you get to tell it, like you get to decide, you know, like you're not going to let people make things up. They're going to make you look, you know what I mean? But
absolutely. Yeah. Just,
that's
I don't want to like,
release date?
We don't know yet. We're trying. So it's been really slow, I guess, with Amazon Prime and Hulu. We're trying to get it distributed with them. We already had the premiere back in September, and which I don't know if you guys knew, but Thunder Rosa was there for that, which meant a lot to me too. So that was really awesome that she was there. So we're trying to get it on Amazon and Hulu, but right now I think we're trying to get like an app for it so we can get it out there because it's almost like 2022. We're like, everyone's been asking me like, when is it going to be out?
You got to do what you got to do, and you never know who's going to actually pick it up. So
right.
So a lot of people don't know that, or maybe they do, but I wasn't aware that you actually started wrestling when you were like 13 years old. Like that's super super young. I think it goes to show like how passionate you really are about it. You've been at this for 2 decades now. You even had I think you had a WWE tryout when you were like, I would say 14.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? I know.
I mean, you've lived an amazing life so far, and you're so young, you know? Like Trey said, you've been at AEW Dark, MPW, CCW, PWA. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. So I want to ask you something that I've never really asked anyone, and I'm always curious, you know, and it's just, it feels like a stupid question, but I always
stupid questions. Yeah.
Thank you. So in the ring, when you're wrestling, what is your least favorite bump to take? Because I always wonder, like, I know that bumps hurt. So when you know one is coming, like, which one is it that you're like, oh God, I don't want to do this move?
Oh my gosh. I mean, any bump is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, any bump, I feel like, you know, and then obviously, like, if it's a bump from, you know, the top rope or something, obviously, like, those suck. I mean, any bump is pretty much, it sucks.
That's good, because I never knew, like, I didn't know somebody's gonna say, oh, back suplex off the top rope is probably the worst. You know, I just don't know. Maybe someone's had a bad experience. Trey's laughing at me, but I seriously, when I'm watching wrestling, I'm like, I wonder how much they liked taking that shit. Did that hurt?
It does. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't feel good, but it's definitely it's an adrenaline rush once you take the first bump and you're like, yep, I got this.
And then do you feel like you build like a callus, or like, you know what I mean, like calluses?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the wrestlers, like their upper back especially, it's like you build like that, like you said, like a callus kind of thing. Yeah, and it's just your body, because your body isn't meant to like naturally like bump on like, you know, wood, you know, a thin mat, and like, you know, it's hopefully you hope it's padded, but it's really not that as padded as people think it is. Or like
it's not.
It's not, and every ring is different. Yeah.
I've seen one being built, and I was like, okay, where's the rest of the padding? Like, I was like, where the hell? I was like, wow. Like, my respect for wrestlers, like, I was already here, but it just went like, oh my God, these people are killing. Like, they really.
Yeah.
Bless y'all. I appreciate everything y'all do for our entertainment.
Aw, thank you. That means a
lot. And what's your favorite move to perform?
Oh my gosh, there's so many moves, right? It's like, how do you pick one? I mean, my finisher I like to do, it's an arm wrench neck breaker. I like to do that a lot.
I love neck breakers.
Yes, me too. Yeah, any variation of neck breakers are always fun to do. And then, like, you know, I like my signature move. One of them is the Shining Wizard. It's fun to do.
I love the name of it too, the Shining Wizard.
Yes. It's fun. And then, you know, I do a tornado DDT off the second rope. That's always fun to do. And you get to, you know, fly in the air. I call that Sparks. Sparks will fly. You know, like
I was looking at the names of your moves, and I was like, she has the coolest freaking names for her moves.
I'm trying, you know, that's all. It's all about like how you market, you know, like yourself. So I've really tried like with Sparks and, you know, Spice Ranger.
It's working. It's
fun, right?
I have one more question for you before I pass it on to Trey. So what is like the best moment of 2021 that you took with you into 2022? The best thing that happened to you in 2020?
Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, there's a lot of special moments. I mean, my first match back was very special because that was just in 14 years. I never had a match, and that was just really special to me. Also, you know, after that, and then I got to, you know, go to Mission Pro and then Capital Championship Wrestling, which just started out, and that's a great company as well. So, like, I just had all these opportunities, and then, of course, you know, I feel like probably the biggest moment for me was wrestling Thunder Rosa at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in front of 20,000 people for AEW's biggest like Grand Slam. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That was just like, I still get goosebumps.
I saw that. I didn't see it live, but I did see it. It was
on
amazing.
The YouTube. It was insane, you guys. I can't even explain. Like, I'm so happy that the photographers caught the moment. Like when I was just staring in the audience, like in awe, like, Wow.
Can't believe I'm here.
Like taking it all in and just the roar of that crowd was just insane. I'll never forget
Yes.
it. And like even when Thunder Rosa was coming out, I had to stop myself because I was starting to clap. I was like,
She's my
she got
opponent.
such a pop. You know, and I was just so happy for her and for the moment. And I was just like, that's just how I am. Like I'm very like passionate about things and like people, you know what I mean? But what a moment. Yeah, I would say that's the biggest moment for 2021.
I would say that you've had an amazing comeback.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Definitely. I've been very blessed, very grateful for all like everything that's happened. So
2022 is going to be even better. So
yes, that's right. I can't wait.
Yep, it's lit for you. It's beautiful.
It's lit. Sparks is gonna fly.
Sparks are gonna fly. There you go.
I love that, you guys.
I'm gonna have a whole bunch of puns off of that, but I have to ask you, Kayla.
Yeah.
You know, you have a unique perspective. You was wrestling back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You suffered the concussion. Now you're back. Can you talk about the difference of women's wrestling from back then to now that you see?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. I mean, obviously like now like in the locker room now I can totally see a difference. Like I just feel like women are more like empowering women, which is really great to see because I've always been, you know, like all about girl power and stuff like that. So I always like, I never was the one to like feed into like, you know, I just ignored like back then there was a lot of drama and like, you know, like stuff like that. I feel like it was less, I don't know, camaraderie with like the women, but now I feel like it's more supportive and it's not like, obviously there's always going to be like competitiveness, but I feel like for me personally, like the places where I wrestled, like it's always been about like women helping other women, like going over your match, or like it could be anything, like, you know, fixing their makeup or like whatever it is. I feel like that was like kind of lacking back then. I don't know, maybe it was just a different era for women's wrestling, but we definitely had to struggle, I feel like, back then because, you know, the locker rooms are so different. Like now it's, you know, it's separated, like women have their locker room, the men have their locker room, but back then it was like everyone, like the girls had this change in the men's locker room and like that was awkward. So like I don't know, I just feel like it's different back then. It was a little bit tough.
I didn't know
now, yeah, it's yeah, and then me being really young back then too, I was like, you know, 14, 15, 16, 17 traveling and like, but luckily, you know what, I will say I had people that looked out for me. So I was always grateful for that, that I had people there. So like nothing ever got like out of hand, but I will say there's actually, you mentioned about how it's different. Like, I mean, now I feel like it's more respectful for women now in the locker room. Back then, I feel like maybe, I don't know. There was a guy that came up to me. I'll tell a short story, but there was a guy that came up to me and he was being serious and he said like, "Hey babe, can you oil my back?" or something stupid. Like really, and I thought he was joking around and I'm like, is he serious? And he was. And then I can't believe it. Like everyone was just in shock. They're like, did he just say that? So like, you know, this 15-year-old girl like in the locker room. And then I don't know. So then it got back to the promoter, right? And the promoter really reamed this guy out and he's like, "Hey, everyone out of the locker room right now." And I'll never forget this moment just because it's just it was a moment where I'm sure he'll never forget. And so he said to him, like, you wouldn't say that to your, you know, like your daughter or your wife or your mom or your sister, you know what I mean? And then I felt bad because he like was starting to cry and like he's like, "I'm so sorry, Kayla. I'm sorry I didn't mean to like offend you." And like I don't know, I felt bad for the guy after because he was like basically like humiliated in front of everybody. But I don't know. I guess sometimes you have to learn the hard way, I guess.
Yeah, and good thing you learned it early.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a creep.
So I mean, yeah, the locker room definitely is different now. I feel like there's none of that like stuff anymore, but definitely a lot more respect for one another, like both men and women. You know what I mean? So that's good.
Is there anyone from your first stint in wrestling that you wrestled that you want to wrestle now?
Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah. One of my close friends, Mercedes Martinez, because she was around when I was wrestling.
I love her.
Yeah. I mean, she never took a break. She's been doing it for 20-something years. Like, God bless her, because she's just amazing. Like, she's always been someone that I actually that I looked up to back then, because she was just like a strong, like I said, she didn't feed into any of like, the like stuff in the locker room, whatever. She just like, she knew, like, she looked out for all the girls and like really wanted like us to succeed, and like really, like, it was, because it's not just about one match, it's about like the show and like putting on a great show for the fans, which is what it should be about, and just like really elevating each other, like, to be at their best. And I felt like she always like genuinely really cared about like the wrestlers and like just the whole entire like business itself. Like, I have so much respect for her. Like, so like one of the characters in the TV show is actually based off of her Mercedes. So yeah. And actually it's a really, you might know who she is actually. She was on Flavor Flav, and she's on VH1. She was on a bunch of stuff, but she's really, I love her. Hoops, Nicole Alexander.
Hoops.
I saw Flavor Flav.
Hoops, yeah. Hoops played the character Mercedes.
I remember that name.
Yeah. So, yep. So shout out to Hoops. She was amazing. Oh my God. And if we do a season 2, she's like, I definitely want to get in the ring and like bump around, and like, because she's super athletic, like she can do it all. Like she's amazing. Like, she's not just like an actress, like she does it all. Like, so I give her props.
Oh, so she's versatile.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to watch this show. We going to the premiere. Y'all gonna have a premiere?
Can't wait to.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's something I feel like it like checks off all the boxes. Like, you don't really see like women's wrestling on like a TV show, or like, and it's based off like high school, like the drama with high school and all that stuff. But, and then also it has like, the LGBT stuff too in it. So it has a lot of different stuff in it that people probably, I hope that can relate to, I guess, when they watch it. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit people. It's gonna hit people good. I'm ready for it.
Oh, thanks, guys. That means a lot to me. Like,
come on, Prime.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. I can't wait.
Wait, did you say it was gonna be on Hulu or Prime, or were you just saying go Hulu, go Prime, Maddy?
No, it will be on. It will be on distributed on Prime and Hulu. It's just taking a little bit longer than we anticipated, but
I want them to hurry up. Come on,
I know.
I have them both, so I'm just like
I know it.
All the platforms. So if it goes to Netflix, I got them all. So as soon as it releases, I'm there.
That's like the thing now with streaming. It's like so popular now.
I got Hulu, so come on, Hulu.
I'll lend you my Prime. I'll lend you my Prime, Trey.
I know it.
It feels so hurt. Like, oh man, it's not good. Kayla, favorite Spice Girl song?
Favorite Spice Girl song? Wow. You know what? I get asked that, and I love them all, but the one that really gets me really excited and happy is Stay'll Be There. Just because, it was during the summer, like I feel like the summer of 1997, and I just remember life was great, Spice World, and that song does it for me.
Favorite scene in the Power Rangers?
Say we'll be there. I love it.
Got to bust out the concert here.
That's right. Hey, I don't know if you guys can see. I actually have a Sporty Spice shirt on.
Sporty Spice in the building.
I like it. Representing.
And she's sporty.
I have to. Yes.
Spice Ranger. I love
Let's
it.
keep going down this road, Maddy. Kayla's favorite season of Power Rangers or favorite group of Power Rangers?
Oh my God. Well, obviously the original. I never got into anything but the original, like the OG Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like,
same.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of different ones, and they did it like Turbo and all this other crazy stuff. But yeah, definitely the OG.
The OGs are the best.
That's the only ones I know about. That's the only ones White or Green Ranger.
Oh my gosh.
Green.
I don't know. The Green Ranger. Well, I'll say the White Ranger because the Green Ranger, he was evil at first. So Rita had a hold on him. So the White Ranger was like the new. I remember that when he became a White Ranger. Like,
It's true.
I know. See, good over evil. I mean, what can you know?
But the Green Ranger had the. Come on.
I actually got to meet Jason David Frank in person, and which is like he's freaking awesome. And then I also got to meet Amy Jo Johnson just recently, and she's like my hero. Like, so,
wow.
Yes,
I always see them at the Comic Cons, and I'll be like,
yes.
I should go meet them. But then I'll be like, man, I don't feel like fanboying. Like,
I know.
YOLO.
I
know, man. But
I mean,
because once you
meet
meet
a lot today. What
do it.
Because you know, once you meet one, then it's gonna be like, man, I got to meet.
You got to meet the rest.
I got to meet all of it. It's gonna be a bad thing.
I know.
And then you take a picture with them in the middle and have them do their pose.
You know how they do at Comic Con now, though. They put that little glass in the middle of the picture, look kind of funny and.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of disappointed when I met Amy Jo because of COVID. We had to wear masks, so I tried to make the best of it. And I had
you couldn't take it off during the picture.
Yeah, that's in the yeah. We took a picture, but it was like 6 feet apart, kind of like. And then I put something on my mask that said it's morphin time, so I
love that.
Try, you know what I mean? Like try to make the most of it, since you can't see your like face. But yeah, it still was really special to me meeting her, and I you know, it was like 20 something years in the making. Like I was so starstruck. I was like a kid again.
How do you feel when you look at them picture with mask on? Because I
know.
I really didn't care, and then I started looking at some, and I'm like, people don't know if that's
I know.
That's it. Like this is.
I know.
You really know people's eyes.
I know. You see your eyes, and you try to see your eyes.
With the hat, like it's almost impossible to see.
Oh yeah, and I always wear a hat, so it's bad.
I know.
It's like right here. What you see?
I know it.
So we've been going here. This is my favorite question I always ask. I even lean in for this one. Rock or Stone Cold?
Oh boy.
It always gets that reaction.
They're both great. I would say because I don't know, for some reason back then I didn't hate The Rock. Like I love The Rock, but just like his character, like you love to hate him when he was like a bad guy. So like I'll say Stone Cold because even when he's a bad guy, people still loved him. Like, well, The Rock too, but I'll go with it. Stone Cold. Sorry. Stone Cold. I can't.
To begin the year, guys.
Stone Cold, I actually was there when they came to, back then it was called the Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York, and I was there in the nosebleed seats when he did the Stone Cold beer truck. So, that was an awesome moment. I'll never forget that.
Guys, I don't know if you saw the last one on Wednesday. We started the year, and I said something. Kayla did pick Stone Cold, so.
Oh, here we go.
We will continue to hold this out until next week to see who picks The Rock. All right, and they will get
we love The Rock.
We're giving out prizes this year, Kayla. You could have got the prize.
Oh man,
I didn't know. I would have hinted. I would have been like,
I did that to somebody else. They was like, oh no, wait a minute, go back. Let's do it again.
Wait a minute, I changed my mind.
You're gonna have to change the question because now people are gonna be like, oh, The Rock.
Right, The Rock, yeah.
You're gonna have to change.
Oh yeah, I got different. I got more stuff. So yeah, we got new questions.
Do it, bring it.
No, we're not gonna do that. Nah, let's pass that.
He's like, never mind.
One of the final questions I asked before we go into our last spot here, Kayla.
Okay.
Say I'm a fan of the show, and I see you at a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I watching you, your match and everything, before I go into that question, everyone who I've talked to about you said you're very bubbly, energetic. They don't pull you down. You're a happy person. So, the energy is there and it's good energy. So that's a good thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
As a fan, when I leave the show, what am I taking away from seeing Kayla Sparks that night? I've seen the Sparks fly with you. What am I taking away from you? What do you want to send the fans home thinking?
Wow. I mean, thank you guys, by the way. I try, I'm just, I would like fans to take away that despite, because I'm not like, I do go through, like everybody, like everyone's human. They go through things that like are upsetting and stuff like that. But my philosophy on life was always like, it's a choice to be happy. So like, I always want people to like maybe take away like, life's too short not to be happy. So if you can choose to be happy versus like, because it's so easy to like get stuck in the negative stuff. Like last year and this beginning of the year, I had a lot of negative things happen for me. And just, I think a lot of it is like your mindset. So if you can think positive and like, despite like obstacles or like setbacks that are in your way, I just hope like people take away like, that it's never too late to like, I don't know, follow your dreams, whatever they may be, and just always like be positive and like help others and be kind to everybody and just always try to like maintain that like positive vibe, like, I don't know, I guess I hope that's what people would take away from watching a match or something. Like it's always like, it's like, the underdog kind of like, I feel like I am, and just, it's never too late to chase after your dreams and things like that. Like, cause I've been out of it for like 14 years, but here I am, you know what I mean? Like I'm so happy to be back, and I hope that people can watch it, maybe be like, I don't know, hopefully, I know some people have told me like they're inspired by my story, and it really like genuinely like means a lot to me because, I loved wrestling all my life, but like they always say like the comeback is always stronger than the setback. So I've always like tried to like bring that out, I guess, in my matches, and just always like try to have that spark.
You need to start like a little podcast where you just drop like in the morning, like 5 minutes of positivity for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Get their day started.
I mean, it's always, it's always good to like have that positive, if you have a person in your life that's an influence, it's always good. And I have my friends and my family that like help me keep positive, so it's always a good thing.
Beautiful.
Call it the morning spark.
There you go. The morning
I could do this all day. I could do this all day.
I love that.
Maddie, I could do this all day. Let me stop
all
though.
Day.
You guys
I'm writing this down like the morning spark. Like I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter. Like right? Trey said.
There you go.
Don't forget.
You guys are the best. Thank you guys.
You gotta spark out.
Spark out.
Hey.
Let me stop.
I know it.
Love it.
Trey's got all those trademarks.
Yes.
Love it.
Maddy, like this. When Kayla was coming back, that her comeback match almost didn't happen, right?
No, I did not know that.
Kayla, can you tell us about that?
The comeback match?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that was for WWR, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one okay. Actually, on my way to the show, I got into a car accident. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Like that was my first accident I ever got into, and the person came out of nowhere and just hit me. And I remember like my life flashed before my eyes, but the only thing that I could think about, of course, is like, I can't die. I have my first match back in 14 years. Like, please, God, please, like, let me survive this. And I just remember, like, everything happens for a reason. I definitely feel like my guardian angels were there. Like, my definitely my aunt and my grandpa that passed away recently. They definitely, I feel like they were there with me because, I mean, that was just crazy how I was able to survive and then not have a scratch. Walk away from that. Yeah. And then like, it could have been a lot worse. And like, you know, and I just remember talking to the police officer and actually I was not trying to laugh, but I was just like, I really got to get back to my match, or I got to get back to the match officer. Is my car safe to drive? Because I got places to be. I gotta go. He's like, and so he's like, oh my gosh, you're a wrestler. So we were talking about that. And he's like writing on the back of like the police report. And he's like, what's your name? What's your name?
That so, like, is awesome.
Like I said, like you could turn something negative. Like I could have like been like, oh man, I got into an accident. I don't know if I'm ready, you know, for this match. But I turned it around. I'm like, you know what? You know, I survived. I went through a traumatic car accident, but I'm fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to have a match and it's going to be great.
I love your attitude.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I know my cousin was like, and it's funny, like my cousin April, I'm really close with her, and she called me like the minute I got into the accident, and she actually was going to surprise me and drive. She drove like 2.5 hours away to go be at the show. So that meant a lot to me. So like, I don't know if you watch the match back and you see her with her sign. And and I gave her like a big hug because that was like a genuine like raw moment because I didn't know she was coming, and like that meant a lot to me that she was there. So like shout out to April if you're listening. But yeah, it's crazy like about that stuff can happen to you, and then I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah.
It puts you in it puts your life in perspective, I think.
It does.
Certain things like that.
Yeah, definitely, like traumatic like things like that can happen, and just it anything can happen. Like tomorrow's never guaranteed, so like that's why I'm always just like, you know,
YOLO.
Exactly. Yes.
Go speak to the Power Rangers.
Yes, you know it, Maddy. Yes. So like I just, you know what I mean? Just always just live life to the fullest, you know?
Yeah.
Kayla, I'm taking that with me. I'm taking that with me here in 2022. Live life to the fullest.
See?
Just be positive.
You never know.
I'm such a negative person. That's why I'm like absorbing everything you're saying. My husband is very positive, but I'm always like, oh, it's raining. Yeah. You know, like I'm.
I know. Well, it's so easy. I mean, I get like that. Like you get stuck, you know, in a rut, and you get like, you know, sad about things or depressed about like stuff. But then, you know, you just always gotta like remind yourself, like, you know what, I got this. I can turn it around, and you know. It's all about, I feel like a lot of it I've been really like paying attention to is like the law of attraction. So like if you think stuff or like if you manifest like things are good and things, you know what I mean? And then it happens like, cause I mean, this past year, I never thought all these things would happen. I was like, I always had a goal in mind and like, just always thought positive. I mean, yeah. So
the positive spark.
I was going to say it. I was just going to say it. You just took it out of my mouth.
Yes. The positive spark.
Took it right out of my mouth.
I
was like, I got one.
He's like, I got one. Oh my God, I love you guys.
Sorry, Maddy.
This is so much fun.
Up your life. I can do this all day. Oh man, this is fun. Uh-oh. Maddy, I'm very put her on the spot.
Go ahead. Put yourself over.
Kayla, you know, we do this little spot here where we call our put yourself over moment. This is where we want you to let our people know your social medias, different ways they can support you, things you have coming up in 2022. We would just like for you to put yourself over.
Oh, thank you guys. That actually means a lot. But yeah, so you can follow me. I have the same handle on Twitter, Facebook, and I was going to say MySpace for some reason. I don't know why. Never mind. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is Kayla Sparks 247. You can catch out all the latest happenings with everything Kayla Sparks. And I just recently updated my YouTube channel. You can check that out, Kayla Sparks. You can check out, has my matches, interviews. I'll definitely put this one out there. And definitely, everything about Against the Ropes. You can check that out on YouTube, and you can check out my Instagram and my Twitter and Facebook to follow the latest on that for the upcoming series. And I mean, yeah, 2022 is going to be great. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, 2021 was great, was amazing, and now I'm looking forward to like everything 2022 has to offer. And I hope that sparks will fly.
Hey, there it is.
Yes.
Yes. I just subscribed to your channel.
Oh, thanks so much, Maddy. You guys are the best.
Yes. I was like, oh, she got a channel? Yes, done.
She has 200.
I feel like I'm talking about myself, but put you guys over. What?
Oh no, girlfriend, this is all about you. No.
This is all about. See, when we got into this, I never wanted to put myself on here, basically.
Aww.
So that's why our stuff is usually spotlights, and I go to independent shows, so I'll put up clips from the matches. But other than that, we don't try to put ourselves over. You know, you can follow LUV Wrestling on Instagram, YouTube. We almost at 5K. Twitter, LUV Wrestling #1. Facebook. Yeah, we on Facebook too. It gets the feed from Instagram, but I usually don't get on Facebook. I apologize to people that send messages on Facebook, but we are not checking Facebook like that. And yeah, you know,
everything.
Maddy, tell them your stuff.
I'm Top Rope Squishy across the board. So Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, it's all just Top Rope Squishy. So, you know, and I got merch. So
yay.
You always know if you're listening on podcast or if you're watching on YouTube, how you doing? But all the links will be in the bottom from Kayla Sparks. Maddy links are in the bottom. Go watch Maddy Spotlight we did almost about a year ago.
Just about.
There you go.
You've been up here for a year doing it with We Love Wrestling. I mean, how you feel? What you see in 2022? Who you want to talk to in 2022, Maddy?
Mercedes Martinez.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've given him like a little list, but I told him I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, and I was like, I'll break my vacation for Mercedes Martinez.
Aww.
So that's working with you has been great. We love wrestling. I talk about you all the time, and I always tell people that if it wasn't for Trey, I wouldn't know the indies. So
that's amazing. Yeah,
I owe you a lot, Trey. I owe you a lot. So
you guys are a great team.
Cool dude. Thank you.
I love your vibes and everything too. Like, you guys are awesome. I'm so happy you have me on here. I love I'm so hyped when I hear you get your intro of the We Love Wrestling. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so catchy.
Yes, definitely.
That's it.
I'm putting you guys over. Yeah.
Thank you. You know when people say that. Now, do you got any other questions for Kayla before we get out of here?
I just want to say that I love everything about you, and when you go into an interview, you never know how you're going to vibe with the person that you're interviewing. But this has been so good for me. So thank you so much. I wish you nothing but success in 2022. I'm dying to see your show. So, looking forward to it. Hopefully one day I'll be able to meet you in person. So
yeah, definitely, guys. That means so much. Thank you so much for the love and support. It really means so much to me.
I got one last question, Kayla. One last question. My goodness. You executive producing the show. How does it feel watching somebody play you?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I had to take a step back and be like, wow. Because a lot of the moments where I didn't want to remember it, because a lot of it, the scenes were hard to watch because it's I remember it happened, but I don't want to give it away, but some of it was hard to watch. But the fun part, when they actually got to go in the ring and then I actually got to help them do the moves and stuff, that was just that was really special for me, because it's wow. And then how hard it is in wrestling, and to have to teach them Marissy Rose is the one that played me, and her love interest in the show, the character's name's Mel, Jackie, Adina, they both they killed it. Like they had to learn moves in like 2 hours. That's really hard to do. But props to them, and they took the bumps, like you were saying earlier, Maddy. Like they're not fun. So yeah, I give them props for just going in there and doing whatever it took to get their roles and the scenes good. Like I can't wait for everyone to watch it. But yeah, that was just surreal. Yeah.
I'm going into business for myself right here, Maddy. I'm going into business for myself. Kayla, when the show comes out, can we get you back on to talk about it?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to. Yay. Yes, absolutely, you guys. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. Let me know. You guys are a blast.
Yes, I feel smart.
Aw. I know my hurt.
I love it.
Aw. I wish you guys nothing but success, and like you guys are amazing. So like anything I can do to help you out, just let me know.
Yeah, that really means a lot.
Another one. I love it.
I got like 20 in my head, but I'm gonna stop and go ahead and go.
I know.
We go all night.
I love it.
Kayla, thank you for giving us this time and joining us here.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Maddy, thanks for joining us again on Women on Win. I know Maddy's what we love wrestling. We keep saying she's top row squishy. She top row squishy / we love wrestling. We done put her on a record deal. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
You know, I'm trading, and like I always say, I love wrestling and you love wrestling. Then we love wrestling. It's too sweet. Hey,
too sweet.
You're not here, you missing out. Is this show?
For the love of wrestling, go to WeLoveWrestling.com.